Chapter 1, Section 3 of the Greek View of Life by Goldsworthy Lowes Dickinson. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Martin Geeson. Chapter 1, Section 3. Greek Religion, an Interpretation of the Human Passions. And as with the external world, so with the world within. The powers of nature were not the only ones felt by man to be different from and alien to himself. There were others, equally strange, dwelling in his own heart, which, though in a sense they were part of him, yet he felt to be not himself, which came upon him and possessed him without his choice and against his will. With these too he felt the need to make himself at home, and these too, to satisfy his need, he shaped into creatures like himself. To the whole range of his inner experience he gave definition and life, presenting it to himself in a series of spiritual forms. In Aphrodite, mother of Eros, he incarnated the passion of love, placing in her broidered girdle love and desire of loving converse that steals the wits even of the wise. In Ares he embodied the lust of war. In Athene, wisdom; in Apollo, music and the arts. The pangs of guilt took shape in the conception of avenging furies, and the very prayers of the worshipper sped from him in human form, wrinkled and blear-eyed, with halting pace, in the rear of punishment. Thus the very self of man he set outside himself, the powers so intimate and yet so strange that swayed him from within, he made familiar by making them distinct, converted their shapeless terror into the beauty of visible form, and by merely presenting them thus to himself in a guise that was immediately understood, set aside, if he could not answer, the haunting question of their origin and end. Here then is at least a partial reply to our question as to the effect of a belief in the gods on the feeling of the Greek. To repeat the phrase once more, it made him at home in the world. The mysterious powers that controlled him it converted into beings like himself, and so gave him heart and breathing space, shut in as it were from the abyss by this shining host of fair and familiar forms, to turn to the interests and claims of the passing hour an attention undistracted by doubt and fear. End of chapter 1, section 3. Recording by Martin Geeson in Haslemere, Surrey.